Okay, so yet another example for cumulative genes or polygenes. So cumulative or polygenes refers to many genes. There are many genes, more than one genes, which control the same character. So please remember, you can easily remember by the word poly. Poly means many genes. So there are more than one genes which are controlling the same particular phenotype or the same character. And one excellent example other than the kernel color of wheat is the human skin color. And notice how it is mentioned that the human skin color is controlled by three pairs of alleles, we can say. You know that alleles and genes are used interchangeably, but just to prevent any confusion, you can say three genes control, and each of these genes have two alleles. So you can say three pairs or a total of 6 alleles which control the skin color in case of man. Let us designate those genes as capital A, capital B and capital C. So there are three genes, imagine, in our genome, that is gene A, gene B and gene C, which control the character of. So obviously you can see here many genes are there, A, B and C, and the same character that they are controlling, which is in this case the skin color. This was first actually studied extensively, especially with regard to human skin color, and there is a sufficient blending that happens in the human skin color. That's why it is also considered to be a case of blended inheritance or incomplete dominance. And this was first reported by Davenport, and they have classified, Hughes has classified 7 phenotypic classes, and like how I told you, we shall designate the gene as capital A, capital B and capital C. So the take home message here is there are 3 genes but 1 character. The genes are capital A, capital B and capital C, but the character is skin color. One character controlled by more than one gene is a cumulative or a poly or a multiple gene, and the best example is human skin color. So like I told you, there are 3 genes, that is gene A, gene B and gene C. Let me assume that gene A has 2 alleles, capital A and small a. Capital B and small b are the alleles of gene B, and gene C exists in 2 allelic forms, that is capital C and small c. Obviously you know the uppercase notation is used for dominant alleles and the lowercase or the small letter is used for recessive alleles. So notice how there are 3 genes with us, capital A, capital B and capital C, but we have 6 alleles with us, isn't it? Because each of those 3 genes is existing in 2 allelic form. So 6 alleles which control the same character, that is the skin color. Now see very carefully how exactly the skin color is influenced here. Is again, it depends on the dosage, because this is also an example for quantitative inheritance. Quantitative means the number of dominant and recessives is what determines the color of the skin. Now let me give you the first example. Imagine there is a person born with a genotype of all capital alleles. Remember, he has 3 genes existing in 6 allelic forms in his genome. Now notice this first case, all of them are dominant. Now let me take the second case. The second genotype, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to keep 5 dominants and 1 has become recessive. This person has only 1 recessive allele, whereas he has 5 dominants. In the third case, again, I'm decreasing the dosage of dominance. Notice that as I go down, I'm decreasing the number of dominants. So in the third case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep only 4 dominants and 2 recessive alleles. Another person has 3 dominant alleles in his genome and 3 recessive alleles in his genome. Another person has only 2 dominant alleles in his genome and he has 4 recessive alleles in his genome. A sixth person has only 1 dominant allele in his genome. The rest of them are all recessive alleles. The last person has no dominant allele at all. All of them are recessive. Now let us see how this will change the skin color. What did you notice as we went from 1 to 7? We have reduced the dosage of the dominant genes. We have increased the dosage of recessive genes, isn't it? So here there is the highest dosage of dominant genes, that is 5 dominant genes are there. Here there are absolutely no dominant genes. So as we go down, we are decreasing the dosage of the dominant genes. Now, a person who has all dominant alleles in his genome, do you know what his skin color will be? His skin color will be very dark, and this very dark skin is referred to as the negroid skin. Okay, so for a person to have a very dark skin, he should have all the alleles of these 3 genes which are located on his chromosomes in his genome. All the alleles must be in their dominant condition. Capital A, capital A, capital B, capital B, capital C, capital C. Notice that the skin has the darkest color, that is very dark. Okay, then if there is one, you can see how what happens over here. There are 5 dominant alleles and there are only one there is only one recessive allele. See this tiny recessive allele that is sitting over here. So there are 4 dominant alleles over here. I will represent the recessive allele with a small arrow here, and I'm writing a bracket for the dominant alleles. Please remember, when I write bracket, it represents the dominant alleles. So there are only 4 dominant alleles over here. So the skin color becomes dark. Okay, so comparatively it's not that dark, it is just about dark. So this is the skin color of a person who has 5 dominants. Now notice in the third genotype he has only 4 dominants and 2 recessives. Sorry, here I was supposed to write 5, isn't it? 5 dominants here. Here it was 6. I wrote 5 by mistake. 6 dominants, 5 dominants. Then here there are 4 dominants. Here there are 3 dominants. Here 2 dominant and only 1 dominant, and here 0 dominant. So let me put a question mark. So if a person has 4 dominant alleles and 2 recessive alleles, he will have a fairly dark skin. Fairly dark means it borders between somewhere which is not too dark also, it's not too light also, okay, but it is on a darker shade of light. And then you have the fourth genotype where 3 of them are dominant and 3 of them are recessive. Isn't it equal, children? 3 of them are dominant, 3 of them are recessive. So we say that this is intermediate skin color. And this intermediate skin color is also called the mulatto. The mulatto skin refers to somewhere which is bordering between light and dark, that is intermediate. Why? Because the number of dominants is equal to number of recessives. Now see how it becomes in the fifth case. There are only 2 dominants. Recessives are taking over now. There are more recessives, isn't it? 4 of them are recessive over here. So now this becomes fairly light. The shade of the skin here is called fairly light. It is not qualified as light, but it is not qualified as intermediate also. So it's been termed as fairly light. Then can you guess what happens here where there's 1 dominant? It just becomes light. And without any dominant, the skin color will be very light. So notice the trend, all of you, as we go down. We are moving from example 1 to example 7, that is genotype 1 to genotype 7. Notice how the skin color changes in its intensity from very dark with all dominant alleles to very light without any dominant alleles with only recessives. So what determines the skin color here? And obviously you saw how blending is taking place. It's like mixing 2 paint colors and getting a new color, isn't it? Dark and light are blending. That's why I told you it is incomplete dominance. But what determines whether the skin is dark or light? It is determined by the relative dosage of what? The dominant and the recessive. In case all of them are dominant, the skin color will be very dark. In case all of them are recessive, the skin color will be very light. And then we saw that there is a delicate interplay between the number of dominant and number of recessive to give rise to all these different colors that we discussed from genotype 2 to genotype 6. This is when how genes, the number of genes is what determines the variant of that particular character, the phenotype or the trait of that particular character. As a result, whenever number is involved, we say that this type of inheritance is quantitative inheritance. And like I told you, Three genes are controlling the same character. Three genes and six alleles are controlling the same character. That's why it is said to be polygenes or multiple genes or cumulative genes in nature. Okay. So if you conduct a cross, now say for example you have crossed, I will show you the first half of this cross. You have crossed, or say a person who is having a very dark skin marries a person who has very light skin. So obviously all their children will have mulatto skin. Why are they having mulatto skin? Let us count the number of dominants and number of recessives. 3 is equal to 3. See, there are 3 dominants and there are 3 recessives. So number of dominants and number of recessives, I told you, if the dominant recessive ratio is equal, then the skin color will be mulatto. Now suppose a person who is mulatto skinned is marrying another person who has a mulatto skin again. Isn't it? So mulatto, so this was the F1 generation. Let us consider this to be the F1 generation. Now this person who is an F1 generation person is getting married to a person who has a mulatto skin. So both of them are mulatto. Then you will get what generation? You will get F2 generation. See the ratio of the F2 generation. The ratio of colors in the F2 generation is 1:6:15:20:20:15:6:1. That means these are the possibilities, these are the probable types of genotypes of offsprings that you obtain in the F2 generation. So 1 out of them will have very dark, 6 out of them will have dark, 15 out of them will have fairly dark, 20 of them will have intermediate or mulatto skin, another 15 will have fairly light, another 6 will have light, and one of them will have very light. So this is the cross that the ratio given here represents. That is, first one is parental generation, as you all are aware. So you have considered a negroid skinned person is getting married to a very light skinned person. The child born is a mulatto skin, and here in the F2 generation, to obtain the F2 generation, we considered that child who was mulatto skin grows up and he gets married to another person who has mulatto skin as well. So when two mulatto skinned persons marry each other, they will bear children, and the all of the probabilities of all the children that they could produce, that can be represented using a Punnett square board. And when you draw the Punnett square board, you will see that the F2 ratio is 1:6:15:20:15:6:1. They may ask you this ratio in the competitive exam. So for the human skin color, the F2 ratio you all have to remember.